and I've just rammed it further and further. It's probably in my brain. It's got to be some sort of protective layer, hasn't there? Who better to ask as the man known as the Wax Whisperer, Neil Wrighter. He's a YouTube sensation. I hope I got your surname right. Hiya, Neil.
Hi, good morning, Danny. Yes, you pronounced that spot on.
Good morning, sir.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, thank you for having me in your Sunday. Very kindly. Neil, I think I spoke to you a couple of months ago, and I finished our interview with the fact that you can burn wax. It's quite flammable.
I remember that, and oddly enough, just on Friday, I had a huge piece of wax that I extracted from someone's ear, and the thought crossed my mind, so shall I go outside and kind of get a lighter or a match and strike this wax alight? But I thought better against it. It's
definitely flammable, and that makes sense because there's lots of natural oils in our wax, isn't there?
You're correct. So earwax is a combination of three primary substances. The first and the majority of earwax is made up of dead skin, what we call keratin, that dies and sheds from the ear canal. And earwax also contains sweat. So we've got what we call modified sweat glands. They're the same sweat glands that we find under our armpit, so they're called ceremonous glands. And then earwax is also made up of a substance called sebum, and sebum is secreted by what we call sebaceous glands. And these glands are the same glands that we find on our scalp alongside our hair follicles. And sebum is made up of a combination of alcohols, long chains of saturated and unsaturated fatty acids, squalene, cholesterol, and they are obviously all flammable. So in theory, what you've kind of proposed to me does make sense.
Neil, yesterday, my producer may have told you, I was shaving my hair in the bath and I got some shaving foam in my left ear. I tried to dislodge it with a little finger and then a little, almost like a little toothpick made out of toilet paper. That didn't work, and then I made the fatal error of using a cotton bud. What's happening in my ear at the moment?
So it's very likely, it could be one of two things. It could be that it's not the shaving foam itself, but the mere action of you poking in your ear. You've got some underlying earwax there, and you've further impacted that towards the eardrum. Or it could just be it's the foam itself, and this foam, it's still there in your ear, and it's a sound barrier. It's like you're underwater. Sound doesn't conduct as well, obviously, through water as it does air. So it's one of the two, but either way, you would need to see a specialist and have your ear examined. It's quite normal, actually, when people get some water in the ear or they shaving foam in your case, they kind of panic and they want to clear it themselves. But 99 times out of 100, you're just making that worse, unfortunately.
So it needs to be syringed. I have actually ordered, my father, Neil, I ordered him a home syringe kit from Amazon for like 15 quid or something, and after a week he can hear a lot better, and it's just made him just so much more upbeat, because I'm beginning to now understand how people who have hearing problems feel, because it alienates you so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, earwax is, unless you've had earwax or you've got a blocked ear, people might joke and laugh about it, but it can really cause many, many problems for an individual. It can cause them, obviously, the physical symptoms are earache, deafness, pressure in the ear, but it can also cause psychological problems and emotional problems. So people can get really depressed, they can feel isolated, they can feel like they live in their own bubble because they can't converse with their friends and family. So it is although it's a benign condition, it's a very debilitating condition. So if you have got earwax, most certainly get that removed professionally if possible.
Sure. Neil, what protection is there between the cotton bud piercing, I'm guessing there's a layer of skin, and going into the brain?
So, not much, if I'm honest. So, the first protection your ear canal has is the shape of the ear canal. It's like the S shape, so it doesn't allow objects, it tries to avoid objects going straight towards the eardrum and piercing the eardrum. The ear canal is roughly around 3 centimetres in length, and then you've got the eardrum, and the eardrum is only approximately 1 millimetre in thickness, so it's very delicate. And once you go through the eardrum, you're probably about half a centimetre away from the organ of hearing. And if you cause damage to that is permanent. And obviously, the brain is a bit further in, but there was a case in Coventry, I believe, someone used a cotton bud, I think it was last summer or the summer before, which led to an ear infection, and that ear infection then manifested itself as meningitis, and as you know, meningitis can be life-threatening. So we all might look at a cotton bud and think, well, this is a completely, it's not a dangerous object, but it can cause serious harm and injury to your ears and to your overall well-being and health.
Neil, can I thank you for coming on at such short notice, mate? I do appreciate it. It's a day of rest, a Sunday for medical professionals like yourself, so thank you for doing a little bit of extracurricular work, mate. What's your website, or do you have a YouTube channel that our audience can investigate?
Yeah, sure. So I've got my website. I've got two websites. The first website is the Hear Clinic, www.thehearclinic.co.uk. I've also got another website called Clearwax, which is www.clearwax.co.uk. And anywhere in the country, if you've got a problem with earwax, if you visit that particular website and enter your postcode or town, you can find your nearest specialist that will be trained in earwax removal. And if you like watching earwax removal videos, feel free to connect and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and just type in the